Process 3. Reacting versus responding. The two main goals of Process 3 is 1. To understand how and why you react the way you do, and 2. To make a commitment to apply that understanding to change and healing. In Process 2, you learn that the limbic system reacts with survival responses to 3 areas: food, sex, and safety. Those survival responses are fight, flight, and freeze. In this process, you will look at these 3 responses and how they affect you and your relationships. The first and most effective is fight. It makes others afraid of you, and this increases control, which reduces vulnerability. This often appears as conscious or unconscious intimidation. The main role of anger, both neurochemically and biblically, is to anesthetize the emotion of fear. In the limbic system, pain results in fear. All of your emotions were designed by God for your good and can be used both positively and negatively. Righteous anger, as God designed it, gives you the courage to fight and overcome injustice. One example is David and Goliath. So if anger's main role is to anesthetize fear, it can also anesthetize the fear of criticism, rejection, abandonment, disrespect, shame, embarrassment, secrets, vulnerability, and especially intimacy. Anger was a reaction, but what was the wound? You need to feel these emotions rather than blocking them out. These emotions are necessary in order to respond appropriately to experiences you encounter. If you anesthetize them with anger, reacting out of fear, you minimize or perhaps eliminate your ability to respond and communicate in a healthy manner. You have to feel to heal. The second and next most effective way to survive is flight. If you're not bigger or stronger than your opponent, the way to survive is to be faster, run, or hide. When growing up in an unsafe environment, the best way to cope may have been to stay away or become invisible to avoid being hurt by abuse or neglect. Growing up with anger, rage, consistent criticism, or an alcoholic, you quickly learn to avoid attention and conflict. Some other names for fear are stress, insecurity, panic, dread, and anxiety. The best way to get to the root of what is causing you to be stressed or anxious is to ask yourself, what am I afraid might happen? Beliefs drive emotions. Anxiety can become an addiction because it creates energy and can dull pain and depression. The third way the limbic system responds to fear is to play dead, to freeze, go numb, or appease. If you cannot fight or run away, playing dead may help you survive by numbing the fear and pain. The brain is designed to help you cope and survive when life gets unbearable. The limbic system separates memory that records experiences that have to do with pleasure and reward and fear and pain. When things don't make sense, they usually are limbic in origin. The truth is that nothing goes away until it is resolved. It is a lie that time in and of itself heals. To truly understand someone, you must be able to feel what they feel, which is empathy. The problem is that when you shut off one emotion, it usually turns them all off. All except for anger. In closing, anything that makes you feel safe and reduces stress raises neurochemical levels in the limbic system, causing the brain to associate it with survival and feeling normal. This is called the reward cascade. This part of the brain creates a craving to repeat the behavior because it is associated with survival. The more it is reinforced, the more ingrained it becomes, resulting in a loss of control, thus an addiction. This reactive memory system, part of what the Bible calls the heart, is programmed through experiences and needs to be reprogrammed through new and opposite experiences. Effective recovery must be through experience. It takes an opposite healing experience from the hurt to change the heart. Recovery is learning to trust again.